Hey guys, it's Cam. Welcome back to my channel. I have an embroidery business called Garcia's Goods where I make mostly just embroidered apparel. Today I want to talk about some of my favorite Amazon supplies that I use pretty much every single day in my small business. I know you don't have time to waste, so let's get right into the video. I'm going to be looking at my notes over here, so don't mind me if you see me looking at my laptop. So of course, let's talk about thread. Thread is probably one of the most important things you're going to use in your embroidery business. And I know it can be kind of confusing because there's lots of different brands, but to make it easy for you, this is the one that I used when I started. I think it's Bro Thread? I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it, but we'll go with Bro Thread. I got this set of embroidery thread when I first wanted to start doing embroidery. I've actually purchased this set twice, so I had some backups. This set includes 40 spools of thread, and I think it was around $26. So pretty good. They're a little bit smaller, but I love them. They have some really pretty basic colors, especially for when you're starting off. You don't really need 1,000 colors to start off with. You can always buy more as you go, which is what I've done. Also, I got the spool thread holder from them as well, and it holds about 60 spools of thread, and it was around $20. So that's not bad for when you're starting off. Budget friendly for sure. I actually have mine attached to my wall as well, because when you are running a small business from home, you may not have the biggest office, or even an office itself. You may be doing it out of your bedroom, and so use your space wisely. You can save some space by putting it on your wall with the little hooks that are attached to it, or it has little kick legs that you can set it up somewhere if you do have the space and you want to see them all pretty. So along with thread are bobbins, of course. Now I have two machines, a multi-needle and a single needle, and my multi-needle I use the magnetic bobbins, and of course these are all pre-wound. I cannot begin to describe how convenient it is to use pre-wound bobbins. It saves so much time, and time is money, and if there's one less thing you have to take time to do, it's usually worth it. So I get the magnetic ones here that you can actually return the cores, which I think is really cool for them to like recycle or whatever. And so I got about 100 of those for around $42, I think. And then for my single needle machine, they're just plastic, and I got around 144 of those for I think $24. Go ahead, get you some pre-wound bobbins. It saves so much time. Next, of course, when you are hooping items, you're gonna put something called stabilizer in between your embroidery hoop and your item that you are embroidering. So there's lots of different kind of stabilizer out there. There really is. There's cutaway, there's tearaway, there's fusible mesh, but I predominantly just use cutaway. They say if you wear it, don't tear it, and I embroider 99% of things that are wearable, so I just use cutaway. It seems to be working fine for me. We'll see if I want to experiment in the future. The same brand as well as these threads, Bro Thread, I don't know. But I have two different sizes that I buy for designs that are usually that go in either a 4x4 hoop and a 5x7 hoop. I have a size of stabilizer for that. And then I have a size of stabilizer that is for like my 8x12 hoops. I have the 10 inches by 50 inches that I use for my 4x4 and my 5x7. I have the 12 inch by 50 inch that I use for my 8x12. I used to get something that was 15 inches, but it only would come in something that was like half the length, and it was almost the same price. So I'm trying to be a little more cost efficient with my supply purchases, so I now get the 12 by 50. I use it literally every time I embroider something, so I love it. It's got a thumbs up for me for sure. If you've gotten this far in the video, oh my gosh, you're amazing. But let me know how much you like this video by liking and subscribing. I would appreciate it. Now let's talk about packaging. That is the most fun part, I think, of running a small business, especially an embroidery business, because there's so much hard work involved in your products, and it's so wonderful to get to go, I'm done. Let's ship this off, get it out of my sight. Packaging, of course, is important. You're sometimes sending packages across the country or even international. I've sent one package to Canada before, and I'm based out of Mississippi, so that's pretty far. And I've shipped tons of packages to California, New York, Washington, Idaho, Illinois. I've sent packages all across the country, and so what you put them in is very important, right? I would think so. I won't lie, I'm gonna be honest. I also use mailers, not from Amazon. I know, it's okay, don't be upset. I do have my favorite from Amazon though, and it's these green ones. I really like these. I mostly just order the 14.5 by 19 in the Amazon ones because they are a little bit more expensive. My ultimate favorite polymailers come from Magical Mailers, and then Small Business Supply Co. I love their polymailers. They're very thick, but they are a little bit more expensive. The price often does match the quality when it comes to polymailers. Polymailers are really lightweight, so they're a really great way to ship things without adding a lot of excess weight, because a lot of postage is done by the weight of the item. So that's why I like polymailers so much. I don't really like to do boxes unless things just don't fit in a polymailer, because the price does go up there. So polymailers are a great item to ship things in, especially like t-shirts and sweatshirts, which, like I said, that's what majority of what I do. 100 of them for around $20, which is a really good deal. And they're not super paper thin like some Amazon polymailers that I've gotten before. I was very disappointed in those. These are really good bang for your buck though, because they're not super thin and they're not super thick either, but they are a really good pricer. They're a nice middle of the road option, but I still use them all the time. I've never had any complaints. I've never had any torn packages from what I know. Knock on wood. Continuing with packing supplies, I love these clear bags. They are resealable as well, so that's super awesome. What I do is I fold up my items and I stick these in here with like a freebie sticker, my business card, all that kind of good stuff, and close it up. To me, it gives me an extra layer of like protection, because I do have anxiety. And of course, when you've put all this time into a product, you don't want it to get messed up on the way to the customer, because how disheartening and disappointing would that be for your item to show up wet, ripped, dirty? So this just gives me a little bit of an extra layer of protection, and I really like these. Like I said, they are resealable. So if like there's furfetti on them or something, I can open it up, remove said furfetti, close it back up, and it's still good to go. It still seals really well. So I love these. You can get around 100 of these for $14, so it's even cheaper than the green polymailers. And I feel like they're really good quality, so they have a thumbs up for me again. So if you're starting a small business, even if it's not embroidery, you need to be recording content that is essential to having a successful business. So I love these selfie lights. I recently got these. Some people call them the Alex Earl lights, but I got these off of Amazon instead of TikTok, and I actually really like them. So you press and hold the power button to turn it on, and then you can press the power button again to change. So it's got 3 different lights. My dog is being silly. Different lights. It's got like a white light, a warm light, and then it's got like a combination. And so I've got a warm light on me right here, I've got a warm light behind me, and I've got a white light over here, as well as a ring light, but that's separate. That's a conversation for another day, because I don't really recommend it anymore, but I'm still using it, so I don't know, maybe I do recommend it. I really like these. They have 10 different light levels, and there's just a little plus and minus sign that you'll just click plus for brighter and the minus sign for less. I think they have about 2 hours of full battery life on the highest setting, but I got them for around $32 for 2 of them. So it wasn't horrible, and I actually really like them. I feel like they do a really good job, because my office in here does not have the best lighting at all, and so I've definitely had to add these. Definitely had to add a lot of lighting here to make things look like they do. Oh my god. So cute. That's a boys. Anywho, so that's all I have to share today. My dog is crying, so I guess my time is up for me to record content. I really appreciate you watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye. What? You're so cute. Let me kiss you. Oh my god, I'm sweating.